You know, it's been several minutes and I cannot think of an intro. You know, I was just gonna read this off as kind of a joke, but this is actually so bad it's not even funny. Today we are gonna be playing as the Russian Empire because I cannot think of anything better to do on Christmas Eve. Now, I've never played as Russia before in this game because I don't like this game. Just kidding, I just didn't think it would be very interesting. But here I am because I don't have any better ideas. So technology is definitely a bit behind. Not so much on the production front, actually. However, railways are always the most important thing, so I'm gonna start with that. So industry. There isn't much industry. However, about 160 different grain farms. So at least the population isn't starving. Oh wait, there's actually a lot of people that are starving. We do start off with a pretty decent surplus though in the balance. That's actually really amazing. Now, since you can no longer suppress or bolster political parties, I'm going to use all of my almost 1,000 authority to just taxes. Nothing too crazy though, just services, wine, and tobacco. Well, I say just services, like that isn't in itself very detrimental, but money. Remember, you gotta think about the well-being of your budget before you think about the well-being of your general population. Speaking of that, what do the lower strata need most? They're spending the most money on grain, but that's already about 2% lower than average. So we want to focus on other things, mainly clothes, which are 50% more expensive than they should be. I'm also definitely going to be improving relationships with all the great powers and also China and also the Ottomans, because I really just don't want to fight anyone. So it seems we are producing a good amount of luxury clothes, but like nobody's buying any. We're making twice as much as we should. So I'm going to switch half these to prioritize non-luxury clothing, and I'll find the biggest building, which is this one right here, Moscow and Kiev. I'll switch them to craftsman sewing. So that should even it out a little bit. So then we'll be producing more regular clothes. And I'll also just make more textile mills in the first place. Let's start out with 6. And then we are at minus 150 bureaucracy. So we're losing about 10% of our taxes. Most intellectuals will tell you that this is not a good thing. So definitely going to need to build some more government buildings. Hopefully 5 will be enough. And let's get the timer ticking. Now, in terms of laws, I can't change any of the laws except police, but I'm going to need bureaucracy points for that, which I don't have. So in terms of laws, we're just gonna do nothing. The sign of an empire that will stick around for a very long time. Speaking of sticking around for a very long time, there's a lot of countries here that I want to stop being there. Or mainly I want to make them tributaries, because getting like money for not doing anything is pretty great. Right now they're just protectorates, which means that they're not giving me any of that good cash. And a relationship that doesn't involve me getting paid is not a relationship that I want. Villages have been burned. That's unfortunate. I will do nothing to alleviate the situation. The budget surplus is a lot. I'm gonna lower taxes even more. See, lowering taxes is a great thing, because if you can get your economy used to having that low taxes and building everything around that, then you know your people have more money to spend, which increases their standard of living and makes them less likely to revolt against you. You see, don't lower taxes because you're nice. Lower taxes because you're playing the long game, and also because you have basically unlimited authority and can just tax products. Cleaned up the trade routes, and now I have almost all my bureaucracy back, and now making about 10k more money because I'm not getting all that tax waste. You see, a little bit of cleaning up in the bureaucracy can be very profitable. This is why when I become the president of the United States, I will engage in very thorough corruption. Hey, there's gold mines. I didn't realize that. Let's build all of those immediately. You see, gold is great in this game because it's basically just printing money, like literally. It doesn't provide anything for the market, like literally does nothing of value, but it's basically free money. So the first law that I really want to get in is anything except for traditionalism. I'm looking at agrarianism. That's kind of the least evil. For that, I'm going to need the industrialists, the trade unions, or the rural folk in the government. Only one of those is viable, which is the rural folk. And that's going to give me an unacceptable government, which is really unfortunate. So I'll just throw in the Orthodox Church as well, and now everybody's happy. And I can now attempt to do an agrarian-based economy. Also, trade agreement with Austria. Why not? Taxes are about as low as I can get them reasonably, so now I think it's time to actually spend some of that money. And I know, frightful idea, but I think 3 more construction sectors should help a little bit. So flipping everything over to dye workshops. Now we're going to need a lot of dye, which you cannot produce inside of Russia itself. However, our friend Persia here has a lot of potential dye farms, so hopefully we can extract it from there. Or more accurately, we are actually getting it from the British, so let's just stop that. And then trade agreement with the Great Qing. Yes, please. I'm not trading with them, but that's going to improve relations, and I really do not want to fight the Chinese. Great Qing's wishes for a defensive pact. No, I do not want a defensive pact. I am not in like shape to be in a war right now. Like, I have peasant levies. This is not viable. Agrarianism has failed. Oh no. I might be able to get tenant farmers though, which will help progress. You know, getting rid of serfdom, you know, slavery, not good. Moldova wants a defensive pact. That's funny. The investment schemes are going very well. Stopped importing fabric, so now it's really expensive, but you know, people are selling fabric are making more money, which is honestly most people, since most of the fabric is coming from subsistence farms. Also, we reduced the cost of clothes by a little bit. I finally have a decent amount of bureaucracy, or to put it a better way, a positive amount of bureaucracy. And also the get rich quick scheme of producing lots of gold mines is underway as we speak. Tenant farmers, oh my god, I've passed a law in this game. This is a moment in history. Maybe I can even do that again. I could do interventionism. Not a huge fan of interventionism or agrarianism, really. Just anything other than traditionalism. Honestly, in my opinion, interventionism is the better one, so I'll go with that. Okay, so this decision here is kind of racist, but this is going to give me 20% Russian upper strata pops become loyalist. I think that's going to be worth it. We are now making almost 10k from gold mines. The plan is all coming together, and that plan is called make lots of money. But oh, look at that. One way to do that is by decreasing the autonomy of my neighboring states. Now these two states will give me 20% of their income, I believe. 30%. That's great. This is getting kind of boring. I'm gonna try to connect a joystick controller to this and see what happens. Yeah, as it turns out, Paradox didn't actually think anybody would be stupid enough to try to play this with a joystick controller, so it doesn't actually do anything. Well, I kind of want to go do something else, so I will revisit this at a later time. Unfortunately, I have returned. Great Qing wants an alliance with me. Maybe? Here's the thing. They're all peasant militias. They're basically worthless, but they have almost 500 battalions. I really don't want them to start dragging me into wars, though. I really don't want that. I'm gonna say no and just try to keep relations up generally, and if I need an alliance from them, then I'll ask. So GDP. Not exactly going up, but it's not going down either. And the little bit of growth that is happening, it's happening in a very healthy way. Oh, and I now have interventionalism. That's fantastic. See, one of the biggest problems with traditionalism is the minus 25% taxation capacity. So hopefully this is going to help with getting some of that well-deserved money for not growing the GDP. I have increased the standard of living a little bit, though. That's something. Instantly minus 400 bureaucracy. That kind of negates the taxation benefits. Hopefully 9 new buildings should be enough. All right, we are slowly but surely taking this country out of the dark ages. Now, the next step would probably be either fixing the peasant levies or the land-based taxation. So here's the question. Do I focus on money or protecting myself? I think I'm going to focus on money. You know, you guys know me. Railways have been discovered. That is a very good step in the right direction. Now all I need is coal and engines and railways. Okay, either 5% of the middle strata pops in Russia become radical, or I lose 4% of my income taxes. Those are both kind of awful. I think I'm gonna have to take the money hit though. Yeah, I just lost a lot of income there, but I had a decent amount of surplus in the first place. So it seems that right now the Ottoman Empire and the Austrians are fighting, and also Egypt. So the Ottoman Empire has been kind of being really, really mean to me, calling me mean names and that sort of thing for like the last 10 years. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do ban slavery and just kind of try to blow them up, just kind of kick them around, show them who's boss kind of thing, so that they'll stop. And it should be really easy because they're already fighting a war on 2 fronts, and I'll just make it 3. Plus, it's unlikely that other powers are going to interfere because it's banning slavery. But just in case they do, I'm going to save the game. Let's see. So this is 34 versus 8 battalions. I mean, they both suck, but 34 versus 8. I think we might have this. Man, I love it when, like, my generals just run away from a front and completely abandon it. It's really epic. Okay, well, there seems to have been a revolution in Kazakhstan. That's really unfortunate timing. Thankfully, the war with the Ottoman Empire is going really well. Austria and Egypt are no longer here. However, that doesn't seem to be much of a problem. Well, the money idea failed. However, there's still the war, which is also very important in this video game specifically. So it will be the next step. Okay, war with the Kazakh Khanate has broken out, and despite having like twice as many troops, I appear to be losing. Also, the United States is now my rival, unfortunately. Thankfully, the battle consisting of about 52,000 Russians versus about 6,000 Kazakhs has, in fact, ended in our victory, so all is not lost yet. Also, the Ottoman Empire has not gone below 0% war support yet, despite like 90% of their country being occupied. Oh, Kazakhstan has capitulated. Lovely. Looks like I've now annexed all of Kazakhstan. This was a bunch of puppets beforehand. Time to incorporate them. The Russian method. Their country has been reduced to basically the Byzantine Empire before it collapsed, and they're still not dead yet. Hey, you know what? I can do this all day, though. I don't think they can. Finally. It only took about 200,000 dead people, but I got, to be fair, the map looks just about the same. But isn't that how most European wars go? Historically speaking, anyway. I did liberate Albania, though. That is very important, and I also stole Moldavia, and I got war reparations, because, you know, I'm all about that money. And now, hopefully, the Ottoman Empire is far too broke and destroyed entirely to do much in terms of threatening me in the future. I have obtained foreign investment rights in Albania. This is huge. You know, after looking over it, I realize that there's not a single thing in Albania that I actually want or want to construct. It's alright though, empty promises are a very quick way to make a lot of money. At least in real life. Well, the gold reserves have been completely maxed out, and I'm running out of things to spend all this money on. And also, I don't really want to play this save any longer, so I'm not going to. I hope this video was at least mildly entertaining for you. Goodbye.